Hello, cricket enthusiasts, and welcome to the City Point podcast, your new hangout to all things cricket. मेरा नाम Asim Shafique है, and I'm super excited to be over here diving into the nitty gritty and the game that we all love. Now, whether you're a diehard fan or someone who just enjoys the thrill of the sport, you are in the right space. Today, we're not just talking cricket, we are living and breathing every thrilling moment of the World Cup. We are here to unravel the journey to the semi-finals of this electrifying tournament with India, South Africa, Australia, and New Zealand all geared up to set the pitch on fire. I'm joined by a panel of experts who eat, sleep, and drink and think cricket. Faraz Farid and Imran Aziz. क्या हाल है भाइयों? ठीक ठाक हो? सब खुशल मंगल है?
Alhamdulillah. Very good.
Okay, so we're going to dissect not just the strategies and the performances, but also the heart and soul of each team that they brought into the field. Now, also, I want to mention that this is not just about us talking cricket, it's about you guys too. I want you guys to share your views, throw your questions, and let us make this a cricket conversation like no other. So grab your snacks, settle in, and let's get the ball rolling. So, first up, I want to take a deep dive um, into the points table. And trust me, it's been quite a ride. यार ये जो वर्ल्ड कप हुआ है इमरान फराज जितनी कंट्रोवर्सीज ऑन फील्ड एंड ऑफ फील्ड इसके अंदर हुई हैं I've never seen it anywhere else. Very exciting, right? But let's get into the points table straight away now. ठीक है जी. Here we have, I'm going to start with the lowest first. सबसे नीचे है Netherlands. They played 9 matches. They won 2 matches, right? Oh, sorry, yeah, they won 2 matches, lost 7 at 4 points, and they had negative minus 1.825 net run rate. तो ये जो इमरान साहब सबसे नीचे हैं नेदरलैंड्स वाले, और ये लोग भी अभी अपना सूटकेस पैक कर रहे होंगे या पहुंच गए होंगे वापस. What do you have anything to say about their performances in this World Cup so far?
Yeah,
So
they
far
came
क्या हो गया?
as rank outsiders into this tournament, but I think they've made a very good statement about their cricket, about their team. Firstly, beating South Africa, and then obviously Bangladesh. Both are established test sides, and to beat them in a tournament like the World Cup, I mean, speaks volume of how well they had prepared for this tournament. Even in the games
Sure.
that they lost, they really gave a good account of themselves. Generally, when bigger teams are playing against the smaller teams, you expect a lot of records to be broken. They did not allow the senior teams to actually take them for that sort of a ride. So, and they played very well. I hope ICC now gives them a lot more opportunities in the next 4 years, in the next cycle of the fixtures, and Netherlands comes back again as a stronger team in the next World Cup, hopefully.
Yeah, let's hope for that. They did. You're right. They did, stand their ground against some very heavy teams. Moving on to Sri
Absolutely.
Lanka. Yeah, moving on to Sri Lanka. They played 9 matches. They won 2 matches. They lost 7. Once again, they are at 4 points as well, with their net run rate standing not so strong at minus 1 point.
Yeah, it's very disappointing to see former world champions, Asia Cup champions, Asia Cup finalists in the last Asia Cup not qualifying for the Champions Trophy. Whether this has been due to the turmoil within their board or whether it's something else, well, that's a separate topic that we'll dissect at some
Yeah,
other time.
I think we probably
but
need to get into a whole video about what's
yeah,
happening in
but
Sri
not
Lanka right now.
qualifying for the Champions Trophy is a bit disappointing. I mean, nobody expected them to qualify for the top 4, but then this performance here has really been pretty dismal from Sri Lanka.
Yeah, it has been. I hope that they get over all the obstacles that they're facing right now. It's a very serious deal that they're going through, and like I said, we will be discussing more about Sri Lankan cricket in later videos. Moving on to Bangladesh, 9 matches played, 2 lost, 7 won, 4 points again, slightly better than Sri Lanka at minus 1.087 net run rate. Imran bhai?
Asim, let me correct you first. They won 2 games and lost 7 games. They did not win 7 games and lost 2.
Is that what I said? Oops.
Yes. So, yeah, coming back to Bangladesh, again, a very pedestrian performance in a global event like the World Cup. See, Bangladesh has been playing Test cricket for almost 22 or 23 years now, and
Yeah.
it's really high time that they improve their cricket and they really become a better team and perform well in the global events such as the World Cups or Champions Trophy or the Asia Cups. I mean, Bangladesh has just been a passerby, if you would like to call them. They just come, participate, lose, and leave the tournament. So I think they really need to sort out their team combinations and the leadership amongst the senior players. The situations right now are not that great, so they need to do a lot of stuff with their cricket and bring it back to track, and hopefully they can give us better performances.
For starters, they can
See.
stop calling themselves Tigers.
Bengal Tigers. Okay, moving on from Bangladesh to the, well, is it defending champions or just current
Yes, they're
champions?
defending champions. Yes.
I think
Defending champions, yes.
probably the most abysmal performance in the World Cup by any team by a mile. They have played 9 matches. They have won three, lost six, 5-7-2.
I'll tell
So,
you something. A lot of bookies would be very unhappy with England's
hmm,
performance because they were in every fantasy pick. England was a semi-finalist in almost every fantasy pick, including ours in our previous discussions. But the way that they have played, I mean, they almost didn't qualify for the Champions Trophy had it not been for the last two games where they narrowly beat. I forget what was the game before Pakistan.
the game before Pakistan, I'll have to quickly
Yeah.
check my. Imran, you तुम्ही confirm कर दो यार.
I think it
Anyways, I
was,
mean,
yeah.
they narrowly qualified for the Champions Trophy. Something went horribly wrong within the team. I think they need to have a step back and have introspect at what went wrong. Maybe infuse new blood. Maybe a changing of the guard. They need to have a look at this because this has been a disappointing performance and unexpectedly disappointing performance, where everybody would
Yeah,
be, where everybody was expecting them to, probably give a better defense of their title.
yeah, exactly. There is actually a lot of speculation going on right now about. There's a lot of rumors within the English cricket team right now. Uh, I will get into the nitty gritty of this one as well with you guys in another video. There's just so much to talk about with this World Cup. So many things have happened. चलें जी, from England अब आ जाते हैं हमारे अफगानी भाइयों के ऊपर. यार, I'll be honest, अफगान की परफॉर्मेंस जो है ना इस वर्ल्ड कप में, they've won 9 matches. Oh, sorry, they've played 9 matches. They've won four, lost five. Net run rate जो है उनका -0.336, and they're sitting at 8 points. And who wants to have a bit of a take on Afghanistan?
Afghanistan, I mean, it's just been a statement tournament for them. You know, nobody expected them to perform the way that they actually did in this tournament. They were just brilliant. Like, even up until towards the final stages of the group matches, they were pretty much in contention for a semi-final spot. It was just a miraculous innings from Glenn Maxwell that really put that into jeopardy. Otherwise, I think they've done very well beating the likes of England, Pakistan, and some of the bigger teams. To actually finish at number 6 in this tournament speaks volume of their commitment towards their cricket and how they want to take this forward. I still believe that they're very reliant on their spin department. A little bit of improvement in the fast bowling resources, and maybe another good batsman amongst the top 5. I think that would make Afghanistan a much, much better team.
Hmm. चलो जी, from Afghanistan now we move on to हमारा पाकिस्तान. 9 गेमें खेली हमने जी, 9. अब
Pakistan has performed as Pakistan does.
अच्छा, मुझे पॉइंट्स तो बोलने दो ना पाकिस्तान के 2 मिनट.
बोलो
So
बोलो
ये
यार जल्दी.
चार चार गेमें जीते, lost 5, 8 points. NRR is 0.199। और
हम्म।
हाँ जी फराज, आई एम गोइंग टू अनलीश यू, बिल्कुल ही पागल मत होना, हमारे अलग से
ठीक
पाकिस्तान
है,
ने
ठीक
पता
है,
नहीं
देखो
कितनी वीडियोस
पाकिस्तान
बनाई
हैव
होंगी।
flattered to deceive. I mean, there were a lot of expectations from the team, and to be honest, they haven't delivered. They're, I think they haven't beaten any of the top four teams. They haven't beaten England. Their victories have come against the teams like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Netherlands, and
They
New
beat New
Zealand was a
Zealand,
rain
Faraz.
affected match. So they are at the table. I mean, where they are at the table, I mean, that's the way they have played. They haven't been consistent with their cricket. They haven't been consistent. Some decisions have been questionable. And yeah, I mean, it's totally deserved spot on the table. I mean, in my opinion, they should have probably been lower. But then again, where's the drama in that?
yeah, where is the drama
Yeah.
in that? अच्छा, अब पाकिस्तान के बाद हम आते हैं हमारे टॉप फोर टीम्स के ऊपर। न्यूजीलैंड, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, साउथ अफ्रीका, इंडिया। सो व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू नाउ इज कि मैंने तुम दोनों के लिए कुछ सवाल नहीं, जवाब नहीं, सिर्फ सवाल प्रिपेयर किए। एंड आई वांट टू टेक दिस टीम बाय टीम, राइट? लेट्स जस्ट स्टार्ट विद न्यूजीलैंड, right? They are played 9 matches, they've won 5, lost 4, 10 points. 0.743 is the net run rate. अब आ जाते हैं the net run rate, right? Now, in terms of New Zealand, they've always kind of punched above their weight, right? So, Imran sir, what do you think? What's the secret sauce?
Yeah, New Zealand has always been a very good tournament team. I mean, you look at the previous editions of the World Cup, you go back
Hmm.
to 2019, they were the finalists.
Hmm.
They just lost the final because of a weird rule of boundary counts. You go back to 2015, they were the finalists. You go to 2011, they were the semi-finalists. So New Zealand has always been a very good tournament team. And, you know, they may not have very big stars in their setup, barring probably Kane Williamson, who is regarded as one of the big four, Fab Four batsmen in the world. Uh, but the way that they gel, and plus Kane Williamson's, the mind towards captaincy is just amazing. Some of his strategies, some of his changes, some of his field placings, they're just too good to see. Um, so yeah, I mean, they play very well as a unit. They play very well within their limitations. They know that they're not a very flamboyant team, like probably India or Australia or Pakistan for that matter. So they know what their limitations are. They kind of set goals that, okay, this is what we are going to try and score, and this is how we are going to try and defend it. And they do a very good job of staying within those limitations and actually trying to restrict the opposition within those, parameters that they have set. Uh, you know, they have a very underrated bowling attack. People talk about Trent Bolt all the time, uh, but I think Mitchell Santner is somebody who has done very well. So New Zealand, I think, is a forerunner moving into the semi-final against India, simply because they have got a very good track record against India in knockout matches.
Hmm. Okay, Fraz, I've got a question for you as well.
Yeah.
Who is a key player for New Zealand in crunch situations?
See, currently, if you look at the current team, New Zealand has quite a few match winners. They've got Rachin Ravindra, who has been the find of this World Cup. They've got Daryl Mitchell, who is a quality all-rounder. But if you want to talk about the key player, I would have to agree with Imran on this one. I don't think there is any replacement right now for Kane Williamson, the captain.
Hmm.
I think the four losses that they had, Kane Williamson was not in the team at that time.
He
If
was
I'm
not.
was not in the team at that time,
Yeah.
and New Zealand lost four on the trot. And immediately, I think he came back for the Pakistan match, and as soon as he entered the team, it was as if he never left. He scored a brisk 95 runs, and it's not about his contribution with the bat. As Imran said, that guy brings stability to the team. That guy is currently the backbone of the New Zealand side. You may have other match winners, but without Kane Williamson shepherding the side, I think it's all pointless. So I think Kane Williamson would be key to
Hmm.
the chances in the semi-final as well.
Okay, all right. So, Imran, going into the semi-finals,
Hmm.
um, what do you think New Zealand's key focus should be now, playing against?
The semi-final is in Mumbai,
Hmm.
and if you look at the results in Mumbai of the matches held previously, the sides batting second have always been into some sort of trouble initially. You
Hmm.
know, Sri Lanka versus India was in Mumbai, and Sri Lanka got bowled out for 55. You know,
Hmm.
Australia versus Afghanistan was in Mumbai,
Hmm.
and Australia was struggling at 91 for 7.
Hmm.
So I think toss would play a very vital role going into that semi-final. Any team deciding to, I mean, any team winning the toss would definitely decide to bat first, as far as I think. Um, India has not been tested uh, in terms of chasing in a crunch game so far.
Hmm.
They were never in that sort of a situation, to be honest, because they were fairly comfortable throughout the league stage.
Do
So
you
this
think
is going
अगले
to
दो मैचेस अगर
Hmm.
इंडिया फाइनल तक पहुंचता है, they will be put into that kind of a situation by one of these?
See, semi-final obviously brings a lot of pressure along with it. You know,
Hmm.
it's a crunch game. You have one bad day, and the previous whole months of hard work would be for nothing. Basically,
Hmm.
it would be meaningless. And India playing at home obviously would be hoping to continue with that.
Capitalize on that crowd
Capitalize
advantage
on
as
it,
well. Yes.
move into this final unbeaten, win a trophy once again. They're trying to win it for the third time. So
Hmm.
yeah, but I think any team that wins the toss would definitely want to bat first, and if New Zealand wins, they would want to bat first. But one thing that they should keep in mind is that uh, this is an Indian team which cannot uh, be uncomfortable chasing 275, 280 runs. So if New Zealand wins the toss and bats first, I think they should try to get to 320, 330 at least, and then
अच्छा.
probably bring in their fast bowlers with the swinging conditions in the second half of the game, and that could possibly put India under some pressure.
Okay. All right. Right. Let's move on to the next team on the points table. And next up is, let me bring the table onto the screen. Right. Second big hitter of the tournament, Australia. बहुत ही बड़ा hitter भाई. So matches played 9, won 7 matches, lost only 2. They are sitting at 14 points with a net run rate of 0.841. So for us,
Yeah,
now Australia didn't really have a very strong start
yeah.
um, in this tournament. Oh, at what point, like, or what do you think was the turnaround point?
See, Australia has always been. I mean, if you look at all the teams, Australia has always been a team which has prided itself on their toughness, their mental toughness, uh, their inability to give in under pressure. Okay, so
Hmm,
in the initial stages of the tournament, uh, 3 matches in, some people had almost written them off because the nature of their losses was, in something different. They didn't
yeah,
expect them to do that badly. But then in the Pakistan match, once David Warner was dropped on 10 runs and went on to have a big score, after that, the Australian team has not looked back. It has been a totally different team. Even in the match against Afghanistan, when they were 91 for 7, I mean, if you're watching the match, the win probability at one point was 99.5% chances to Afghanistan.
yeah.
And
I
from,
don't know where Glenn Maxwell,
and
where
from
he
that
pulled
point
that
on,
out
they
from,
totally
man.
changed the match.
Yeah,
So I think Australia is one of the toughest teams in terms of their mental strength. They're very strong. And this is something that has been there over the years. It's not just this particular team. This is something that has been inbuilt for over a number of years.
Yeah, say,
Yeah.
say.
So I think after the Pakistan match, they've won all their matches and they've won them convincingly.
यानी
And
ये कॉन्फिडेंस हम ही ने दिया उनको है
हम ही ने दिया ये कॉन्फिडेंस हमने.
आते
nahi,
सारी टीम
actually,
में
actually,
ना
actually, let me correct you here, Faraz. They came
हाँ.
back to their winning ways in the game against Sri Lanka.
Yeah, but that also was not really a convincing win. यानी
Nahi,
they
I
weren't
think they.
that dominant in that win.
I
They
mean,
weren't that dominant in that win. That's what I'm saying.
okay. Chalo.
चलो सही डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन इसके ऊपर डिबेट जो है ना
नहीं
अच्छा
नहीं वो
मुझे
तो
दे दिया
स्टैट्स
तुमने
है.
we'll have a debate about this we'll have a debate मजा आएगा मजा आएगा okay man I've got a question for you
Okay.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया की फील्डिंग जो है अभी ये सेमीज के अंदर जा रहे हैं और जिसके खिलाफ ये
Hmm.
जा रहे हैं
Hmm.
उसका कितना बड़ा हाथ होगा कि होना चाहिए एंड हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट इज द फील्डिंग गोइंग टू बी इन दिस सेमी
कोई भी मैच हो is one of the most important factors. वो बेशक वर्ल्ड कप का सेमीफाइनल हो या कोई बायलैटरल सीरीज का कोई भी मैच हो, फील्डिंग obviously makes a big difference, where you can get a run out or a hold on to a spectacular catch, dismiss a set batsman. I mean, fielding plays a vital part in today's day and age. Gone are the days in the 90s, where you could, be not a good fielder, yet be in the team based simply on your batting or bowling exploits. But these days, everybody wants batting and fielding, bowling and fielding, or batting, bowling and fielding. So fielding is the, uh, I mean, it's a, must. It's a required aspect for a player.
okay all right so Faraz, this brings me to you.
Yeah.
Is there any particular player against Australia right now in the New Zealand team that Australia should really be watching out for?
No,
और
Australia's
क्या
playing
मतलब
South
उसके
Africa.
खिलाफ
Yeah, the thing is, Australia need to ensure that South Africa don't run away with the game. South Africa's batting, especially when they've been batting first, has been pretty dominant. I mean, Quinton de Kock, Markham, Miller, they've all scored big and they've scored at a good pace.
Heinrich Klaassen.
Okay, sorry,
Heinrich Klaassen.
Henrik Klaassen, yeah,
तो
Bavuma.
बिल्कुल डिक्शनरी बैठा हुआ वहां पे
Bavuma.
They've all played aggressive cricket. So this is something that Australia needs to be wary of. They cannot let them get away with that game. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to get a hold of South Africa.
अच्छा सही है okay now let's move on to our top two players now top two teams South Africa and India. Let me share my screen again and let's go through South Africa first as their second to the top. Acha ji, South Africa matches 9, won 7, lost 2, 14 points, 1.261 net run rate. यार साउथ अफ्रीका की गेम जो है ना मुझे इट्स बिन थोड़ी अजीब सी नहीं रही है इस वर्ल्ड कप के अंदर कुछ गेमों के अंदर दे डिड अजीब ही परफॉर्मेंस थी कुछ गेमों के अंदर खैर ऑब्वियसली दे आर रियली गुड टीम सो दे परफॉर्म रियली वेल राइट तो अब इमरान साहब मेरे लिए आपके लिए मेरे पास ये सवाल है साउथ अफ्रीका के लिए रुक जाओ यार मेरे पेपर ही दो दिन हो गए साउथ अफ्रीका का एक्स फैक्टर क्या रहा है इस वर्ल्ड कप के अंदर भाई
Batting.
बैटिंग
Next
उन्होंने
question.
यानी ऐसी
One
की
word.
तैसी कर दी बैटिंग की
Batting.
Jay,
इनका की प्लेयर कौन है
South Africa का
हम्म
South Africa top order batting, top order batsmen सारे.
सारे टॉप ऑर्डर बैट्समैन इनके हम लोग
And I
काफी
think if I have to name one player apart from the top order batsman, I think Marco Jansen is pretty crucial because he's a good all rounder. He's there in. I think he's batted reasonably well. He's gotten a few wickets, so he's a player to watch out for as well.
ओके ऑलराइट और अपार्ट फ्रॉम इनको चलो बैटिंग तो इनकी मेन स्ट्रेंथ तुमने बोल दिया है कि है ठीक है सो बॉलिंग के ऊपर इमरान व्हाट डू यू थिंक दे शुड डू और दे कैन डू टू कीप अ डिसेंट बहुत ज्यादा लंबा चेस ना करना पड़ जाए
Bowling South Africa की honestly बहुत अच्छी है. Rabada, Nigidi, Marco Jansen, like Faraz mentioned, Tabrez Shamsi, Keshav Maharaj. I mean, they're all very good bowlers.
या
साउथ अफ्रीका का प्रॉब्लम आता है अगर उनको चेज करना पड़ जाए, जहां पे उनको चेस करना पड़ता है वहां पे they can't handle the pressure. If you look at their points table, the two games that they have lost, in both those games they were chasing, and
Yeah.
they very nearly lost the third one as well, which was against Pakistan. I mean, we don't want to
Yeah,
get into that discussion right now about the decision. Otherwise, it could have been 3 losses. So South Africa going into the semi-final would want to win the toss and bat first. Australia would
yeah.
know it. Australia would again like to win the toss and bat first. So, and Australia would know that even if Australia gets to 260, 270, they will definitely have South Africa under a lot of pressure.
साउथ अफ्रीका के बारे में थोड़ी बहुत हमने बात कर ली है यार फराज आई वांट टू आस्क यू कि do you feel कि South Africa did struggle in the knockouts?
Yeah, yes, not just this tournament. South Africa has always struggled in knockouts, either due to their inability to cope with pressure or through act of God. बारिश हो जाती थी बेचारों के साथ बारिश हो जाती थी बेचारे नॉकआउट हो जाते थे. Yeah, they've always struggled in knockout tournaments, and I would have to agree with Imran here. The reason is simply that they haven't been able to cope with pressure. That is exactly why they've had problems chasing as well. I mean, वही टीम अब एक टीम एक मैच में 400 कर रही है और the next game 250 चेस करने में स्ट्रगल कर रही है. It's just that scoreboard pressure that gets the better of them.
प्रेशर के अंदर आते हैं
They
there's no
need, yeah, they need to be tougher mentally.
okay all right चले now this brings us to the top team so yeah the number ones right now the favorites of the World Cup Team India let's look at their numbers as well अच्छा जी Team India top of the table 9 matches played 9 matches won 0 losses 18 points 2.570 net run rate यार कमाल कर दिया इंडिया ने राइट इस वर्ल्ड कप में यानी छा
So
गए
far, yeah. So far, तो कमाल ही किया.
है ना
Absolutely.
इमरान
I
भाई
mean, yeah, India's performance has just been amazing this World Cup. Nobody has really had any answer to their juggernaut. Uh, Batting, bowling, fielding wise. I mean, India is the only team that has looked settled in this tournament. They came in with a plan. Obviously, they were playing in home conditions, so that is a big advantage. But then,
of course
even having the home advantage, you still need to go out there and play well on the cricket
yeah
ground. So for them to have done their homework, the preparation that went into this campaign was just brilliant. They had players within their squad who were playing, uh, to keep themselves fit, but at the same time they were being given good rest as well, so that they don't get fatigued and they're at their best when the World Cup starts. Obviously, in the past few years they have actually identified match winning players. So India is a team full of match winners right now. I mean, starting from Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, KL Rahul, and then Ravindra Jadeja, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami. I mean, everybody has just been fantastic. I mean, one of the key players who is currently missing out because of injuries, Hardik Pandya. He is a match winner himself. So I think India has just been awesome.
यार एक साइड का सवाल मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ बोथ ऑफ यू डू यू थिंक एट एनी पॉइंट जिस तरह की इस वक्त इंडिया की टीम है एट व्हाट पॉइंट इन हिस्ट्री वाज
Compared to India,
कंपेयर्ड टू व्हाट इंडिया इज राइट नाउ
compared to what India is right now, I mean, Pakistan versus any other team in the world, or Pakistan versus India, are you
नहीं
talking
नहीं
about?
हमारी अपनी टीम जो है
Like
किस
the
किस
strongest Pakistani team.
वन ऑफ द
Strongest Pakistani
स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट
team
पाकिस्तानी हिस्टोरिकली
was, I think, probably between 99 and 2003.
The 99, yeah. The squad for the 99 World Cup was a world beater.
वर्ल्ड बीटर
Potential,
यू से है
potential world beater. Yeah, India's top order batting has clicked. Shubman Gill has clicked. Rohit Sharma has clicked. They've scored rapidly. They've scored well. And I think to a certain extent now, the way that these guys have played, they have a psychological edge. In the sense that जब bowler उनको bowling करता है, you have these names in front of them. You have Rohit Sharma, you have Shubman Gill, then you've got Virat Kohli coming on. There is a tendency for the bowler to over try, you know,
Hmm.
try different things, try something else, and in that they either make mistakes, which these guys are too good to not capitalize on. Okay, so India's top order batting has been crucial. There's no doubt about that.
Hmm.
Secondly, I mean, if you move away from the top order, it's not that after the top order the batting collapses. Then in the middle order, you have Surya Kumar Yadav, you have Iyer, you've got KL Rahul, who just made like a 60, 70 ball 100. So the middle order is clicking, and in the lower end, you've got all rounders like, I mean, Pandya's not playing, but you've got Ravindra Jadeja.
Hmm.
Okay, so you've got batting till number 7, number 8.
Phew, man, that's a lot of boys, man.
That's a lot of batting, yeah. So it's not just the top order that's crucial. I mean, like Imran said, they have clicked as a team. Everybody knows their role, and everybody is delivering to what has been required of them. I mean, KL Rahul is a top order batsman. He's open for India.
Hmm.
But now the role requires him to bat at number 6. And he's doing that, and he's doing that well.
और उसमें भी जो स्मैशर मार रहा है
Huh? So
6
top
नंबर
order,
पे जाके
I think everybody knows their role and everybody's performing accordingly.
या ओके
Yeah.
इमरान मुझे बॉलिंग के बारे में तो एक तो इनका स्टैंड आउट बॉलर अपार्ट फ्रॉम द ऑब्वियस राइट और उनकी बॉलिंग थोड़ी सी वेरिड भी रही है तो आपकी विशेष टिप्पणी भी
इंडिया की
हम्म
यार आई मीन एवरीबडी इज इन फॉर्म राइट नाउ यू कैन नॉट से दैट ये बॉलर है इनका जो आउट ऑफ फॉर्म है उनके सारे बॉलर फॉर्म में यू लुक एट कुलदीप यादव you look at Ravindra Jadeja, you look at Mohammad Shami, you look at Mohammad Siraj, you look at Jasprit Bumrah. I mean, 5 bowlers, 50 overs, 10 overs each. Whom do you go after? There's nobody
हाँ
whom you can target.
Yeah. No
Possibly
weak link.
no weakling. Possibly teams would try to go after Ravindra Jadeja, but he's too good a bowler to be hit around the park for 80, 85 runs. I mean, yes, on a bad day, he might go for 60 odd runs in 10 overs, but then in today's day and age, 60 runs is not that bad a score, to
yes
be honest,
no plus I think
giving
another
away
big
as a
factor is
bowler.
these guys Imran do you think another big factor is कि यार ये लोग 10 ओवर खेल पाते हैं पूरी जान के साथ हमारे लड़के तो 4 में फारिग
यार देखो पता है वनडे क्रिकेट खेलने के लिए ना आपको बड़ी क्रिकेट का आदी होना पड़ता है बड़ी क्रिकेट मतलब लंबी क्रिकेट जब तक आप फर्स्ट क्लास नहीं खेलेंगे जब तक आप ज्यादा टेस्ट मैचेस नहीं खेलेंगे आप वनडे क्रिकेट में परफॉर्म नहीं कर पाएंगे अगर आपका फोकस ही सिर्फ T20 पे रहेगा कि यार मैंने आके 4 ओवर करने हैं 4 ओवर करूंगा और घर चला जाऊंगा तो आप वनडे खेल ही नहीं सकते ठीक है वनडे में आपको क्योंकि देखो फर्क क्या है T20 क्रिकेट में और वनडे क्रिकेट में या टेस्ट मैच क्रिकेट में T20 क्रिकेट में बैट्समैन आपको मारने आ रहा होता है ठीक है अजीब अजीब शॉटें मार रहे होते हैं देर इन एन अल्ट्रा एग्रेसिव मोड ठीक है वो जरा सी कुछ गलती करेगा फील्डर होते हैं कैच पकड़ा जाता है या बॉल मिस हो जाती है बोल्ड हो जाते हैं LBW हो जाते हैं आपको विकेट्स मिल जाते हैं आप बोलते हैं जी मैंने बहुत अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस दे दी ठीक है T20 स्टैंडर्ड्स के हिसाब से इट्स नॉट अ बैड परफॉर्मेंस लेकिन यू आर गोइंग एट एन इकोनॉमी रेट ऑफ 8 to the over you go at an economy rate at 8 to the over in an ODI in 10 overs that you're giving away 80 runs
80 रन तो ये
exactly ठीक है तो T20 क्रिकेट में कंपेयर टू ODI क्रिकेट में आपको बैट्समैन को आउट करना पड़ता है ठीक है आपको उसको ट्रैप करना पड़ता है आपको थोड़ा सा पेशेंट होना पड़ता है कि उससे मैं गलती कैसे करवाऊं थोड़ी सी वो उस टाइप की गेम खेलनी पड़ती है पाकिस्तान अनफॉर्चुनेटली यहीं पे सफर किया इस टूर्नामेंट में कि बॉलर्स T20 के आदी थे कोई खास प्रिपरेशन थी नहीं हमारी 50 ओवर क्रिकेट खेलने की तो मतलब आप देख लो ना हारिस रऊफ T20 में कितनी विकेट्स लेता है ठीक है ODI में उससे आउट ही नहीं होते थे अनलेस एंड अनटिल वो एंड में आके विकेट्स लेता था जब बैट्समैन वही मारने जा रहे होते थे तो कोई गलत शॉट लग गया या कुछ बॉल मिस हो गई पैड पे
Yeah.
खाली बोल्ड हो गए एज लग गया कैच आउट हो गए तो वो विकेट्स मिल गए लेकिन एट दैट टाइम इट्स टू लेट
ओके All
Correct.
right, I've got one more question to ask about India and India's journey. For us,
Yeah.
इंडिया की परफॉर्मेंस को देखते हुए,
Hmm.
who could be India's biggest challenge out of the three other
Out of the
semi-finalists?
semis,
Two teams, who do you think will give India the
see,
toughest time?
the toughest time that India could have is from the law of averages.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's the only thing that can give them a tough time, because the way they have played. I mean, these maybe Australia in the final,
Yeah,
I think
but
yeah, मुझे भी
the way
ऑस्ट्रेलिया का
India
ही
has
कुछ लगता है.
played, it only looks that they can only lose because uh, they've won so
they
many
have to
times.
lose somewhere. Yeah,
They have to lose somewhere.
अगर इंडिया चला जाए और फाइनल में आके एक आखिरी लम्हे पे चोक अगर कर दिया ना, तो because
Hmm.
I honestly believe that they deserve this cup
Honestly
back.
speaking, right now, I mean, if you look on paper, I don't think any of the other three semi-finalists have the firepower to
Hmm.
defeat India.
Yeah,
Again, like you say, I mean, it's about who's good on that day,
yeah, that's
right?
true.
That's why we don't have a best of three finals. We have one final to see
mhm.
who's good on that day, who's brought their A game on that day. So
Yeah,
let's see.
who's the better boss team on the day?
Yeah.
अच्छा यार, surprisingly, we've got some subscribers and हमारे पास audience questions भी आए हैं.
Why is it
Um,
surprising, Asim? You don't believe in yourself?
yeah, I don't know. It's just very exciting. नया नया YouTube channel हम लोगों ने शुरू किया हुआ है. I didn't think
See,
you
you've
know
got
कि
you've
women
got
people.
charismatic guests on the show. I mean, I don't know why you're surprised.
हाँ,
Of
मेरे
course.
guest ही charismatic है, right? Right. School with them. And
No, I know.
सवाल उनका ही है. ठीक है?
Hmm.
Now I need you guys to follow me because of performance between the top four and the rest of the participating teams seems quite large. Is it due to funding or just due to the fact that the top four tend to play each other at full strength as opposed to the other teams? Do you want me to repeat the question?
No, no, we got that. We got that.
We got that. Yeah.
I want both of you to give an answer for this or have a bit of a discussion about what Irshad has said.
See,
Okay.
funding does play a role, okay? But if you look at the top four right now, I mean, you've got India and Australia who are part of the big three, along with England, which are three of the richest boards,
Yeah.
right? Other than that, the funding that has been allocated by the ICC to the other teams like South Africa, New Zealand, Pakistan, they're more or less equal. Okay, so I don't think it's a question of funding. It's
Hmm?
probably about how those funds are applied, and how much you invest in your grassroots, how ready you make your players, how much you invest in their fitness, how much you invest in your bench strength. It's about allocation of those funds. England is one of the richest boards. It's number seven on the table. It's
Hmm.
number seven on the table. Yeah. So it's not just a question of funding. It definitely plays a major role, because had this funding been available to other countries like Netherlands and other teams which have narrowly missed out on qualification, they might have given a better account of themselves.
Yeah, but like devil's advocate वाली बात करो, like you said, कि फंडिंग तो इंग्लैंड के पास थी, नंबर
Huh.
सबसे बहुत ज्यादा थी, but they choked at
Yeah, so
every
it's not
stage of
just
the
a
World Cup.
funding issue. It's not just a funding issue. It's how you
Yeah,
prepare for this, how you allocate those funds, and yeah.
I would just
Imran,
like
what
Imran,
do you
to
think?
Imran, what do you
add
think? Yeah.
something. Yeah, I would just like to add something over here. Previously, what used to happen was that ICC used to make a future tours program for all the member teams. At one point of time, it got scrapped, and then it came to a bilateral model where the two boards who want to play each other will decide when those series would be played. Okay, so that's why you see this big shift coming in world cricket, where India, Australia, and England, they play each other against each other quite often with their full
Hmm.
strength teams. And when it comes to playing against teams like Afghanistan, for that matter, or Netherlands or Ireland, or smaller tours like Bangladesh, so they would probably send their B or C teams. Some of their major players, the big names, the established players would take a rest, or the boards would say that, oh, this is not a very lucrative series that we are looking at, so maybe you can take time off, which is not wrong in a way, but then it kind of hinders the progress of world cricket. Like Australia doesn't play against Netherlands. They walked out of a series which they were scheduled to play against Afghanistan.
Hmm.
So that's not helping world cricket. Like we've had Netherlands just being coming to this World Cup and giving a very good account of themselves. Now imagine if they play against Australia, against India more often, against England more often. They're obviously going to improve, and cricket in that country will improve because obviously youngsters would see that, yes, these big names are coming to my country and my
Yeah,
country is playing against them. So it would create idols. It would create, uh, you know, uh, people whom the youngsters would look up to and want to take up the sport. So it's not a matter of just about funding. It's
yeah.
I think a
Exposure,
responsibility,
basically.
exposure. I think it's about a responsibility on every board to kind of play against some of the lesser teams to bring them up the curve.
Okay, all right. Irshad, I hope this answers your question. Uh, Question number two, and we just want to keep it to two questions this time. सवाल तो और थोड़े आए हैं, which good guys keep sending them over, right? Okay, Faraz, I'm going to start with you again.
Yeah.
Now, considering this is by Hadi Imdad,
Okay.
another EMS lad. So, considering that this tournament has been played all over India and they're all really subcontinental pitches, so India obviously performed really well. Unka home ground hai, but all the other subcontinental teams struggled a bit. So, like, what are your thoughts on this? Why do you think this is the case? Have the other teams just not played enough in India? What's the score?
Okay. First of all, hi, Hadi, Imdad. How are you? How have you been, buddy? Now, in response to your question, see, yeah, there are subcontinental pitches, but I think in this World Cup, the pitches haven't really been that conducive to the result of the match. Apart from the ground at Chinnaswamy, which was true with name and was spin friendly, and the one at Bangalore, which was pace friendly, the other pitches have more or less been very, let me say, batter's paradise. I mean, there hasn't been much in it for the bowlers. So I think most of the teams are more or less. I mean, you're right. India did have the home advantage, but more or less everybody was in even playing field. Furthermore, अभी काफी प्लेयर्स जो है आईपीएल खेलते हैं. आई मीन ऑस्ट्रेलिया की आधी टीम आईपीएल खेलती है, न्यूजीलैंड खेलता है, एवरीबडी प्लेज आईपीएल, so they're more or less aware of the conditions. Okay, so I don't think that the conditions have played a major role in giving any team a major advantage. That's what I think. I think it's
Mm-mm.
more or less been a level playing field,
All right,
apart, of
Imran.
course, apart from the home advantage.
Okay, Imran, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Faraz. It has been a level playing field. You know, I mean, see, looking at the time of the year that this tournament is taking place,
Hmm.
uh, usually IPL hota hai, April onwards, April, May.
Mm-hmm.
ये वर्ल्ड कप हो रहा है इंडिया में इन नवंबर व्हेन द पिचेस आर अ लॉट मोर फ्रेशर. ये उनके सीजन की शुरुआत होती है इंडिया में. तो ऑब्वियसली थोड़ा सा टीम्स को एडजस्ट करने में भी प्रॉब्लम हुआ थोड़ा सा, जो मुझे लगा. अम, क्योंकि अगर आप देखो जो राउंड रॉबिन मैचेस में जो टॉस हुए हैं, ये मैंने पहले भी जिक्र किया था कि जो अप अंटिल द 31st और द 32nd गेम ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट, only 9 teams had won a game who had won the toss as well. So basically, the teams at the time of the toss didn't actually know what the pitch is going to do.
Yeah,
So that
they
makes
couldn't
it a
assess.
level
Yeah.
playing field. They couldn't assess exactly, so that in a way makes it a level playing field. तो
Hmm.
आप टॉस जीत भी रहे थे, लेकिन आपको कोई डिस्टिंक्ट एडवांटेज नहीं मिल रहा था कि यार टॉस जीत गए तो हमें ये एडवांटेज है.
ये वही बात आ गई ना कि वो इंडिया वाले कुछ फूक के बॉल को स्विंग कर रहे थे.
Hmm.
ऐसा कुछ
बाकी
नहीं
किसी
है
से
यार।
नहीं इंडिया से।
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि कोई कोई बॉल में कोई मशीन नहीं लगी हुई, ठीक है?
Nah.
कोई कोई नहीं पढ़ पढ़ के फूंक रहा, ठीक है? हर किसी की अपनी
हम्म।
एक बिलीफ होती है। तो नथिंग लाइक दैट। आई थिंक
Hmm.
देयर आर लॉट ऑफ स्ट्रिक्ट
हमारी
प्रोटोकॉल्स इन
इमेजिनेशन
प्लेस।
जो है ना वो बहुत स्ट्रांग है, बस मसला सारा ये है हम
हमारे
पाकिस्तानियों
क्या,
का।
सॉरी?
वो
इमेजिनेशन।
इमेजिनेशन।
हाँ। अच्छा यार, चलो दैट ब्रिंग्स अस टू द एंड ऑफ द शो। आखिरी बस तुम लोगों से यही बात करनी थी कि भाई आपकी सेमीज की प्रिडिक्शन दें, और या तो आप वन वर्ड प्रिडिक्शन दें कि भाई ये जीतेगा, या तो यू बैक इट अप एज वेल, सो आई लीव दैट टू यू।
Yeah, the safest bet would be putting your money on India.
ये तो ऑल द वे बोल रहे हो ना फिलहाल।
Uh,
व्हाट अबाउट द नेक्स्ट मैचेस?
the next match is now like India New Zealand is the first
हम्म।
semi-final, right?
या
या उसका
I
तो
mean, you
आई थिंक
expect India to go through.
सेफ। या
You expect India to go through.
ओके, साउथ
I
अफ्रीका
mean, if
ऑस्ट्रेलिया।
you want my personal preference, I mean, I would want a new side to win the World Cup, which would either be South Africa or New Zealand. I would want a new team to win.
ओके।
These are two sides who have never won a World Cup.
ओके, इमरान साहब।
यार, आई मीन ऑब्वियसली ऑन करंट फॉर्म ऑब्वियसली इट हैज टू बी इंडिया, ठीक है? बट जस्ट लाइक
वो तो
फराज,
ऑल द वे चला गया ना इंडिया,
हाँ,
एंड ठीक
just
है।
like Faraz mentioned, let's see if we can have a new winner. So New Zealand and South Africa from the second semi-final. But I personally feel it's going to be India versus Australia in the final.
Yeah,
Okay, and Faraz, you feel it's going to be India versus?
I feel it's going to be the same. I want it not to be, yeah, but I feel it's going to be the same.
Yeah, I feel it's probably going to be
Yeah.
the same as well. But you know what I really want? यार मैं चाहता हूँ कि कीवीज बेचारे जीत।
Yeah,
यार they
Kiwi, South
always
Africa.
historically they've come right D तक बॉल ले आते हैं लेकिन गोल नहीं कर पाते।
So basically, you're saying कि अगर South Africa एक नॉकआउट मैच से जीत जाए उनके लिए वर्ल्ड कप होगा वो।
ये बस मैं वो बोल रहा हूँ कि दिस इज मी बीइंग अ बिट फीलिंग
Yeah,
फॉर द कीवीज के हर साल यार, हर बार, हर टूर्नामेंट के अंदर
yeah, to
करते
be
करते
this close
करते।
and yet so far. Yeah, I get
या
what you're saying. So I would want either one, either South Africa or New Zealand.
Hmm.
ओके,
Yeah,
चलो थैंक यू कि भैया ऑब्वियसली सेमीज जो हो रहे हैं हम उनको कवर करेंगे। दिस इज द रोड टू द सेमीफाइनल्स। The whole idea behind this video is that people who are struggling to follow the World Cup, they can simply watch this video and completely be up to date with what's going on and get into that cricket fever and enjoy the next three matches. So see you next time, inshallah. And thank you very much. Faraz, bye bye bolo.
bye bye.
Imran, bye bye bolo. Okay, Allah Hafiz. Take care, everyone. Thank you
Allah
very
Allah
much.
Hafiz.